like I say, this YouTuber Elephant Graveyard probably deserves a medal for watching the entire Joe Rogan Netflix special, and has this is just sections of that video essay.
Yeah, a fair and balanced look at Joe Rogan's most recent special.
Finally, the time has come.
Yeah, Matt's has it on default like 1 million speed so he can consume all that information.
The comedy event of the year finally arrived. It's been 6 long years since we got a brand new hour of material from comedy's most valiant defender, the great and powerful Joe Rogan. Every era of comedy has its greats, guys. And you may not like it, but Joe is inarguably one of the greats now. He is the biggest and most successful comic on earth, and the valiant leader of the highly endangered 250 comics. In case you don't know what I'm talking about and have had your head planted firmly in the sand for the past 6 years, there are only 250 comics left in the entire world.
Because there's so few of us. And worldwide, we were talking about this the other day, there's maybe 500 of us on the planet. You know, you got to be real generous and say 500 because it's really probably about 250.
Whoa.
Right. Like legit comics, guys you want to hang out with, guys who are fun.
Please say you want to hang out with me. And the future looks grim for the 250, sadly. Only a couple years ago, there were still 2,000 of them, which isn't a lot, but still. They're dwindling fast, suffering many, many casualties. But Joe's doing his best to protect them, which is admirable, considering he's the greatest stand-up comedian of our time. As you can see, he's earned his spot amongst heroes like Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, Bill Hicks, all these guys. And maybe you disagree, but we have no objective way to measure the quality of a comic other than by their revenue.
I have what you call fuck you money.
So this multimillionaire is by far the best of the best. My parents had George Carlin.
We're going to skip a little bit ahead here.
We just got to get to parts of the special itself. Because I guess, you know, so Matt sent this to me last night and said, you're going to love this. And love it, I did. I watched the entire thing.
And we should say, he's being a little sarcastic in this.
No.
I think this is people
some of the greatest.
He's the greatest. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you'll get the sarcasm in this part too. Where it talks about,
you know, and he is, Rogan is incredibly wealthy. As you know, like he once criticized me for not knowing even like never making $3 million a year or whatever. So how could I criticize? I should say that that people should be taxed at 90% over $3 million. It's true. I have not. And he has made a lot of money. And the FU money that he talks about is a show business term where people can make money and sort of basically walk off and say, I'm not going to deal with your BS anymore. You know, and he made a lot of money as a sitcom actor and then as the Fear Factor host of a reality show where people ate bugs and stuff like that. And then has made a tremendous amount of money, obviously, as a, MMA fighter, and then just a political prognosticator and a online doctor. Too, who has warned us about stuff and warned people from getting vaccinated.
Although in the special he says, "Don't take me seriously." His favorite
Don't take
refrain.
Me seriously. Yes, but he's made a ton of money. But I will say this: in opening up his comedy club, it is the paradigm, the model for what he did, and putting his picture up on that wall, you know, with other luminaries like this, is a lot like, you know, you'd find people who would host open mic nights because they weren't really good enough to get on, you know, and to get mic time at other places. And so on some level, he's done that to make himself, you know, but he has the money to do it. So that's what's bizarre, Sam, is like we know he makes hundreds of millions of dollars from Spotify. This was and this
doesn't buy respect as a stand-up.
Right, because this guy in the Elephant, the creator, Elephant Graveyard, does a great job of breaking this down. It's like, why did he do this? Because if you watch the special, you see that he's really nervous, screaming the whole time, And
doing old jokes, doing other people's jokes.
old joke, yeah, stealing some jokes allegedly. Also, yeah, recycling his old bits, and he's clearly getting upset and agitated when the crowd isn't responding. But it's still on Netflix. It's like, so you had 6 years to work on this special. There's lots of old material, and a lot of it's just like, remember when I was on Fear Factor? Why do it at all? And it's because, as this guy was rightly satirizing, he's placed himself as the Pope of comedy.
Yeah.
And that there's only 250 disciples left. They're an endangered species. We have to protect them. When in reality, it's just like, what can white men say anymore that will make my audience, happy? So this is more of it.
Comedy special, Burn the Boats. Now it's been 6 years since our man Joe released a stand-up special. The last one was back in 2018, Strange Times, which again is definitely one of the greats, as you can see here on this wall that you can find inside Joe's Comedy Club. The Comedy Mothership. It's been so long. It's hard to believe he took 6 years to write an hour of comedy, but you know Joe. He has to get in there and hammer away at these jokes, finally honed like Damascus steel.
I'm always interested in the writing process.
Yeah, why? What is yours? You just go, right? Like,
I can type, so I don't have to look at the keys, which is nice.
Oh, wow.
I don't type great, but I type okay.
Enough.
As you're writing each individual word, you're pausing in time.
Yeah.
And you're in a time lapse. And you get to consider each and every possible way you would say something from that word while you're writing that word.
yeah.
And there's a physical task of doing that with your keys and your fingers that makes you concentrate.
Yes.
Because it fires up your synapses and makes you think that you're doing this with your fingers. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
You can't just shit out a bunch of jokes and expect them to be any good.
Yeah.
Joe is a man of quality, so 6 years it is.
Somebody please shoot me!
It took Michelangelo 4 years to complete the painting of the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and it's pretty good, I guess, but imagine if he had spent 2 more years on it. Imagine how much better it could be.
So yeah, that is Burn the Boats is the funeral. What is that?
Burn the Boats is a funeral for Joe Rogan's comedy career.
By the Elephant Graveyard on YouTube.
I would highly recommend it.
Fantastic.
Almost 1 million views on that.
Fantastic. Should we just do this Nancy Mace thing?
Sure.
Let's just do this. This is a bad sign.
Oh, Sam, your audio.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.